Lord, I want to start this class. Everything that is taught, we shall understand it in Jesus' name.
Amen.
In Jesus' name, I pray.
Good morning once again. Today we are going to be looking at okay. Malang, on your mic. Good morning. Malang, on your mic. How are you today?
Good morning, sir.
Good morning. How are you?
I'm fine.
Good. Can you see the slide from there?
Sir.
Huh?
Yes, sir.
Okay, what's the topic? What?
Motif pattern and designs.
Azeta.
Sir?
What is the topic? Can you see it from there?
Yes, sir.
Okay, what's the topic?
Motif, pattern, and designs.
Good, that's what we are going to be looking at today. Now, a motif is referred to as unit of a design or the central idea or the theme in an artwork. That's what will motivate you or attract you in every design you make, whether clothes or whatever design. The motif must be attractive. That's what will catch your eye for you to get what that particular dress or that particular wrapper that you want to buy. It is the beginning or foundation of an art or design process. If you don't have it, you have to sit down and think of the motif you are going to use. That's eye-catching motif. If you don't have any motif in your design, it's just like plain fabric or plain design. But those motifs in any fabric will help you, will motivate you to want to buy that very particular dress that you want, that you like. And sometimes the colors as well contribute in motivating you to buy a particular dress. Motif is in itself very essential. If you don't have motif, as I said it earlier, you hardly see clothes apart from white fabric, white wrappers and others. Even white fabric, sometimes they have designs without colors, but you see some particular designs on them, especially this shader, as they call it. So this is because it makes up the art piece as a whole. The motif make up the art piece as a whole. Without that motif, you cannot design any wrapper, wallpaper, carpet, and other textile materials. Forming or creating motif, therefore, becomes a prerequisite for a successful art process. What we mean by prerequisite is something you have to do first before diving into designing. If you don't have your motif in place, you have to get your sketches ready, then make your plans before starting any design that you want to design. A motif can be developed from the scratch. Developing it from the scratch means you have to look outward and inward, that's within you. Have the concept of what you want to do, have the concept of the kind of motif you want to use in a particular dress or a particular fabric or wrapper. That's what motif is all about. And again, formation of motif. When you want to create any motif, one has to keep in mind the target audience as well as the purpose for which the motif is being developed. You can't just create motifs without knowing your target audience, without knowing the purpose in which you are creating that motif. you design uselessly because you don't have direction. So the motif formation will give you direction on what to do. For example, you have a particular festival in your own village or in your state, and they ask you to, they give you commission to design a motif pertaining that festival. Now from that, the name of the festival, you will know the kind of motif you will use in that particular dress or wrapper. That's how it works. Then a motif therefore has to be well thought of. If you don't think about it very well, sit down, brainstorm on it, make rough sketches or thumbnail sketches, you will end up having design that is not appealing to the eyes. So these are the things you put into consideration. Now, example of such is create a design to be used for, that's example, create a design to be used for fabric design during African Culture and Art Festival in Nigeria. So for you to do this, you have to sit down and analyze this topic very well, because it has to do with Africa, it has to do with Nigeria. Now, since it is Africa, the first step to go by is choose things that are typically African. You know, Africans are known with bold colors, their types of jewelry, their body art, that's body adornment, the designs they have in their body. So you have to take these things into consideration. The second step is narrow down your choice. That's search to avoid ambiguity. Don't repeat. Don't do things that will get people bored. So you have to do it. You sit down and think about it. You look at it very well. You brainstorm, you ask questions, you make your research, and before you start doing before you get into any design that you want to do. The next step is, since it is African festival, you may want to African festival, you may want to pick from you may want to pick a motif that is universal, that's universally African, that everywhere in Africa it can serve the purpose in which that design is being formed. But if you want to do it based on Nigerian colors or based on Nigerian cultures, you will get it wrong. Our culture and other countries in Africa might not be the same culture. So you have to look at something that is universally accepted in African continent. That is how you go about your design. Then the next step is you determine the colors of. The next step is you determine the colors that you are going to use that are harmonious. The colors should be harmonious. That's, you determine the colors of the motif as well as the background of the color, the motif color as well. Consider achieving good contrast and harmony at the same time. If you are using dark background, your motif must be a light color. But if you are using light color, your motif must be dark color. So that's how it works. But if you are doing dark background and dark colors as for your own motif, it won't make any sense. For example, you are using dark brown background and you are using black color as your motif. It won't work that way. Then the next step is make your sketches and select the best. You must make your sketches, that's your motif sketches, and select the best out of them. If you cannot do that, then you get bad design. Savior, on your mic. Dorothy, on your mic and your videos. Savior, Savior, on your mic and your video as well. Good. Yes. Dorothy, on your mic and your video. Amos, on your mic and your video. So let's continue. Now we move to patterns. Pattern is the systematic arrangement of motifs from nature. That's, we have abstract motifs, we have real life motifs. In order to achieve rhythm, for you to achieve rhythm, you have to get the abstract motifs. That's, you form them, you create them by yourself, or you search the internet for inspiration. You can go outside, look at the nature, then you get your motifs from there, then you abstract them. This has to do with visual movement in design. So when you are using abstract motifs, it has to do with visual illusion that gives you a movement in your own design. There are various methods of transforming motifs into actual working surface. Patterns are more noticeable in textile designs, wallpapers, gift wrappers, etc. That's where you see patterns most. So for you to have this, you have to go and search for them, look for them anywhere you can, and you make your own research, make your own findings, you experiment colors, and you go ahead with your design process. I said it earlier that you can't just start design without brainstorming and having your thumbnail sketches. So you have to take that into consideration as well. Then the types of repeat patterns. We have repeat patterns that are usually used in every design. If you have your motif, one, then you choose any of the patterns you can use, using that motif to make your own design. Now, we have simple repeat pattern, we have half drop repeat pattern, we have mirror repeat pattern, we have diamond repeat pattern, and we have counter change repeat pattern. These are the types of patterns we have. In making your design, you have to take these things into consideration. Are you getting me?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Any question? Azeta, on your mic, any question?
Yes,
No,
sir.
sir.
Yes, what's the question?
Sir,
Yes.
sir, repeat the slide of the pattern again. No copy.
What? The slide of the pattern.
Sir, what is pattern? I did not finish.
Okay, look at it here. Can you see it from there?
Yes, sir.
Amos. Amos, on your mic.
Sir.
Any question?
Sir.
Huh?
Sir, finish copying it.
Good. I suggest you the other day that if you can screenshot this thing, it will be more easier and better for you to save your time. If you can screenshot it. Obina, on your video and your mic. So let's continue. The types of repeat patterns are: one, I said simple repeat; two, half drop repeat pattern; three, mirror repeat pattern; four, diamond repeat pattern; five, counter change repeat pattern. Now let me show you examples. That's the images. As you can see, can you see it from there?
No, sir.
You can't see it. Can you see the slide?
Yes, sir.
Okay. What are you seeing from there? Amos, read it for me.
Simple repeat patterns.
Good. Simple repeat patterns. You can see the pictures there. So that's how simple repeat pattern is. Then the next one is half drop repeat pattern. So for this, it will be more advisable for you to screenshot it so that you know them. This one you cannot copy it and you can't draw it. The time is too short for you to draw. So if your phone can screenshot or your system can screenshot, you do it. This is half drop repeat pattern. Then this is mirror repeat pattern. Can you all see it? Obina, can you see it?
Yes, sir.
I can see it.
Dorothy,
Yes, I can see it.
on your mic. Dorothy, on your mic.
That she says her mic are not on.
Oh, is that what she said? How did you hear her?
That she told me
When?
that she chatted me up.
Malang, if I slap your face, eh? Dorothy, on your mic.
Yes, sir, it's actually true. During yesterday class, he was doing like that.
Okay. Azeta.
Like,
Azeta,
Sir?
can you see the slide?
Yes.
What is there? Read it for me.
Mirror repeat pattern.
Good. Mirror repeat pattern. Now the next one is diamond repeat pattern. Can you all see it? Diamond repeat pattern. Who is singing in my class? I will flog you. Diamond repeat pattern. Now the next one is counter change repeat pattern. Can you all see it? Savio, can you see it?
Yes, sir.
This is the first time of you attending this class. Where have you been? Huh? Savio, where have you been?
Nowhere.
Nowhere. So you come to my class at your wish.
No, sir.
You are doing me big senior man, right?
No, sir.
So counter change repeat pattern. So this is how far we can go for this class today, except you have any question. If you don't have any question, let me recap what I said before. The topic I said is motifs, patterns, and designs. Now we said a motif is referred to as the unit of a design or the central idea or the theme in an artwork. That's what motif is for those of you that are just joining us. And I said without that motif, your design is useless because that's what will bring beauty and add creativity to your own design. It is the beginning or foundation of an art or design process. Without it, you cannot just start your design without your motif. Motif is in itself very essential. It is very important to have motif before you start your design. This is because it makes up the art piece as a whole. So without the motif, it's not art piece or it's not a textile material. Without the motif, the work will be plain. We will just see color. But with the motif, you add more beauty to it, and it looks more attractive and is eye-catching to the audience. Then forming or creating motifs therefore becomes a prerequisite for a successful art process. That's the first thing to do before you start your design. If you don't have it, please don't start any design without motif. We are talking about dyeing and bleaching now and textile fabric. You don't start your design without motif. You must have it in your mind that this is what I want to do. So without that, you can't do anything. Then a motif can be developed from the scratch. You develop it from the scratch. You have your thumbnail sketches. You have what you want to do in mind. Then you go ahead and do it. Formation of motif. We said when creating a motif, one has to keep in mind the target audience as well as the purpose for which the motif is being developed. For example, you want to design for children. You cannot use things that are for adults to design a cloth or a dress for children. No. Most of the children dresses, you see cartoons and other things. Those things that will attract children. Then and colors again. Children get enticed by colors. So you check the colors that are children friendly. You check motifs that are children friendly before you start designing for children. If it is for a festival, you look at the name of the festival and the purpose of that festival. Then you make your designs, you make your motifs. That's how it works. Then a motif therefore has to be well thought of. It has to be well thought of. Don't do things that people will reject. It's better for you to take your time, make different motifs, maybe from 1 to 50 or 1 to 100, depending on your time. Then you give people to make the choice, you sample opinion of people, then you get the best. When you have the best, you can go ahead. Maybe if you have like out of 100 people, you have 50 or 60, then you go with the 60. But sometimes when you have 50-50, you can still go with it. Then again, I gave you the example of how to create design or motif. Create a design to be used for fabric. That's the question and what I want you to do. So based on the steps I'm giving you now, this is the question and this is the work commissioned for you to do. Create a design to be used for fabric design during an African culture and art festival in Nigeria. So you see, Africa is there, Nigeria is there. Now, in step 1, you have to choose things that are typically African. Those things that are typically Africans. You go to any of the African countries, you find those things, whether colors or whatever. And mostly, excuse me, Africans are known for bold colors, their jewelry, their body art, that's their body design, their body adornment, and other things. Then step 2, narrow down your choice. That's your choice of color, your motives, things you do. That's hard to avoid ambiguity. Maybe someone has done it before and you are copying it. No, stop copying. Avoid copying people's work. Be creative. Even if you copy, let there be different. Excuse me. Have ideas, different ideas, sample different works, and you get more ideas from there. That's what I said. Then step 3. Since it's African festival, you may want to pick a motif that are universally African. That is, they cut across the African continent. I've said that earlier, and I'm repeating it again. Then the step 4 now says, determine the colors of the motif as well as the background. Consider achieving good contrast and harmony at the same time. So last class, in the previous class, we talked about color scheme and color interaction, where we have primary, secondary, tertiary colors. We have harmonious colors, we have analogous colors, triad colors, tetradic colors, and their likes. These are the colors, the types of colors you use to make your choice from to have a very good work. Then step 5, make your sketches and select the best. Everybody like best thing. As you guys will say, who not like better thing? Who not like better thing? So you have to get good things.
Olale.
God, if I slap you there. So you get good design and select the best out of them. Lastly, but not the least, no, second to the last, patterns. You say pattern is the systematic arrangement of motif from nature that's abstract in order to achieve rhythm. So your motif is not the design. Your pattern as well is not the design. The motif and the patterns form the design. So it depends on your arrangement. You choose from many patterns that we have. And I said the types of repeat patterns we have are simple repeat, half drop, mirror repeat, diamond repeat, and counter change repeat patterns. These are the patterns we have. And with this, we have come to the end of this class. If you have any question, you ask. If you don't have, I ask you. Yes, I'm waiting. Obina, all of you on your mics, let me hear you. Mazi Obina.
Yes, sir.
Yes. Any question? Obina, you don't have question.
I have question.
Yes. You are thinking you don't have.
Ask now.
Sir, please can you explain the types of routine repeat patterns?
The type of repeat patterns. Amos, you are upside down. I'm seeing you, your head is down and your body is up. So adjust yourself. Good. So Obina, I'm hearing you.
Sir, I said you should explain the types of repeat pattern.
Types of repeat pattern. The idea now, simple repeat pattern, half drop repeat pattern, mirror repeat pattern, diamond repeat pattern, and counter change repeat pattern. Let me show you the pictures.
As in, sir, is there like an explanation for them?
The explanation
Like,
now is for you to have repeat pattern. Check this. Can you see this slide now?
Yes, sir.
Good. Now look at the picture by your right. Can you see it?
Yes, sir.
The one with red and black.
Yes, sir.
Good. You can see the pattern, the motif there is, they repeated that motif. It's just one motif and they are repeating it over and over again. Do you understand what repeat pattern means?
Yes, sir.
Good. Then look at the one at your left right hand. Can you see it?
Yes, sir.
Good. You have the motif is not the same.
By what?
You have big ones, you have smaller ones,
Okay,
and
yes.
you have medium. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
But all of them are repeated. So that's what repeat pattern, simple repeat pattern means. Any other question?
No, sir.
Azeta,
Sir?
do you have any question?
No, sir.
Malang? Malang, on your mic and your video. I'm not seeing you.
Sir?
No question.
Sir, I don't have.
Amos, I'm not seeing your face. Amos, on your mic and talk to me. Or talk to us because this is a class.
Sir.
Where is Favor or Savio? Where is he?
Sir.
Yes. Savio,
Sir.
I'm waiting for you. This is your first time in this class and you don't have any question to ask.
Sir.
That's
Sir.
not my first name.
Huh?
It's not my first name.
It's not your first time.
Yes, sir.
I'm waiting for your question. Okay, let's continue.
Sir.
Yes.
Please explain counter change repeat pattern.
What? I should explain counter change
Repeat
repeat
pattern.
pattern.
Yes, sir.
Good. Now, from this, can you see this? Amos, can you see this?
No, sir.
Please check the slide.
Low side, this flatten at the low side. Like this.
Can you see this slide?
Yes, sir.
Good. Now you are the one asking the question, right?
Sir.
Counter change repeat pattern. You look at it here. The colors is black and white. Now check the picture at your right hand side. That with red and white. You see some boxes, the background is excuse me. The background is white. Then the other one, the background is red.
Yeah.
Can you see it?
Yes, sir.
Good. That's counter change. That's counter change. Then the other one, you check the picture at your left hand side. The background is ash, not pure white. It's ash color. Then the motif is black. So there are some boxes, the motif is white, while the background is black. While in some boxes, the background is black, while the motif is white, I mean. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
That's counter change repeat pattern. Any question? Malang?
Sir?
Is there any question? Good. Now, this is the question I want to ask you. Define motif. Let me hear you. What is motif? Malang, what is motif?
So, the motif can be defined as unit of design.
As unit of design.
Or the center idea in an artwork.
Good. Azeta.
Sir?
What is motif?
Sir, is a unit of design.
Yes.
A unit of design. That's all. Savio, what is motif?
Look at
Savio.
It broke out on this one.
You can break out of
Savio, we are waiting for you.
See the image. Savio, we are waiting. This is support line and you can able to touch the line.
Amos, what is motif? Please on your mic and your video. Amos, talk to us. What is motif?
So it's the unit of a design or the central idea of the theme of an artwork.
Obina, on your mic.
Yes, sir.
Yes, we mentioned like 5 repeat patterns 5 types of repeat patterns. Give me 2. Obina, give me 2.
Simple repeat pattern.
Yes.
Counter repeat pattern.
Counter what?
Counter repeat pattern.
Obina, I'm not hearing you. Say that word very well. Let me hear. Counter what?
Counter repeat pattern.
No, someone should help Obina in that one. You got the first one, but that second one, no. Azeta, can you help him?
Is there somebody?
It's a counter change repeat pattern.
Good, Amos, that's good. Counter change repeat pattern. Now, what are the remaining ones? Zamani.
You're hearing or you, madam?
Oh, Zamani, you said you have problem with your mic. You cannot unmute yourself. How?
It will break down.
Uh-oh.
You wanna strategies.
Please, can you give your answer through chat? Okay, go ahead. Let me see. You say you should give me one type of repeat pattern. As you are giving us, you are chatting us. Let me ask another person again. Where is Savio? Is he there?
Yes, sir.
Savio,
Yeah.
give us one.
It's like more interactive. I'm not using all these big text.
Like more like how that one starting.
As in, you go to read.
Yes, already you are right about motive, but what I'm asking now is types of motive, repeat pattern, types of repeat pattern. You give me one, please chat me. Thank you. Savio is just mute in this place. He's not talking. He's not contributing anything. I'll remove you from this class because you are not contributing anything.
Going down, but this video
Mirror repeat pattern. Good. Dorothy, you are yes. Zamani, you are right. Thank you.
I know how maybe. Maybe the thing started to get.
Okay. For motive, here we said to simplify it. To simplify it, here we said a motive is a unit of a design or the central idea in an artwork. Motive is the central idea in an artwork. So that's how it works. And that's the definition of it. Thank you. Then take this assignment. If you don't have any question to ask, take this assignment. List any 4 types of repeat pattern. Any 4 types of repeat pattern. List any 4 types of repeat pattern. That is your assignment. And the previous ones I've given you, have not seen any one. So I don't know why. What?
The network, you know.
You say?
The network. I want to send my own network.
You see your life? Okay, send it as a text message to my phone. You have my number. And you can send it as a WhatsApp message, because even with network or without network, anytime I have my own network, I can see your message, or you have your own network, the message will come. Please. This is my email address and my WhatsApp number that you can send your assignment. We have come to the end of this class. Thank you and God bless you. Amos, pray for us. Amos, why are you playing with your phone? Amos, pray for us. We are waiting.
That he has left the class.
He has left the class. Why? You don't want to pray, right? Well, Malang, pray for us.
In Jesus'
Malang,
name.
pray.
In Jesus' name, sir, I'm praying.
Yes.
In Jesus' name.
Amen.
Omaya, close your eyes. Father, thank you for bringing us to the end of this class. Father, may what we've learned in practice, Lord, in Jesus' name.
Amen. Amen.
For in Jesus' name,
Amen. Have a nice day.
Thank you, sir.
amen.
Have a nice day and stay home, stay safe. Coronavirus is real. Stay at home. Don't go anywhere. Thank you.
Okay.
Bye-bye.
Bye.